I want to live and thrive in a world I don't understand. We know that we can't predict the future. We know that the development of society and culture and technology and the economy is highly volatile and complex and beyond our immediate control. And yet, we make ourselves vulnerable to unexpected events. We create Gantt charts that map out specific dates when projects will be finished. We allow ourselves to get comfortable and complacent in our current jobs. We prioritize stability and convenience in an attempt to avoid challenges. We fragilize. But to truly thrive in this chaotic, unpredictable world, we need to become anti-fragile. Anti-fragility is more than simply being robust. If something is robust, it endures and stays consistent despite bumps and bruises. It can come out of distressing situations unscathed. If something is anti-fragile, it gains from chaos and disorder. It wants to be disrupted. It benefits from being challenged. If fragile says to handle with care, anti-fragile says please shake. Seems more fun anyway, right? Anti-fragility is a concept created by author Nassim Taleb, who wrote a book on the subject. And he observes that being anti-fragile allows us to take advantage of black swan events. These are events that have huge consequences, but seemingly come out of nowhere, that are completely improbable, that no one saw coming. After a black swan event occurs, hindsight often allows you to see the steps that led up to it. It seems easy to explain how it happened, which can make you feel like you should have seen it coming, like you should have had a better plan. But when you're planning, you don't know what black swan events will happen. What you do know is that they do happen, and as Taleb illustrates, they happen with some regularity. So all you can really do is prepare yourself accordingly, not by making better predictions or better plans that rely on accurate predictions, but by operating in a way that doesn't rely on predictive decision making, a way that allows you to make changes in the moment, avoid common errors, and capitalize on new opportunities. A way that's anti-fragile. The anti-fragile way of life could be summarized by saying, be able to pivot, make mistakes, and learn from those mistakes. Saying it is easy, applying it is much more difficult. Here's how I'm doing it. Hey, it's your girl Asante, helping you move consciously and creatively through life, so let's go. A main pillar of being anti-fragile is being able to pivot given the changing circumstances. And by keeping an open mind, I've really been able to take advantage of chaos during my career. As Sun Tzu said, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Chaos and overwhelm in the workplace is often what causes people to hire. One of my first jobs at PBS was really to be a helping hand across the department when everyone was swamped. And my willingness to take on a helper role allowed me to learn a lot about how various parts of the department worked. I learned much more than I would have if I had just stayed in one lane. When people leave organizations, it can be chaotic, but it can also be an opportunity to move up or create a new role. I've had the opportunity a few times to basically write my own job description because the company was changing so much, or because I got to head up a completely new initiative. I'm not afraid of doing a job where there's no precedent. I like that feeling of working at a startup. And in general, I like changing jobs and trying new things. I haven't really had a single set of responsibilities for more than a year. Rather than being locked into a certain career trajectory, trying to climb one ladder in particular, only specializing in one skill set, or opting to stay in one comfortable position, I've been able to advance through changing companies and roles. I'm a multimedia storyteller. My skills translate across platforms and art forms, and being a content creator has me constantly practicing my writing, filming, presenting, editing, and audience development strategy skills, and I can apply those skills to various different opportunities as they arise. I embraced working from home during the pandemic. I did what I could to modify my home space to suit the new reality, and I recognized that learning to work from home with my day job would make it easier for me to jump into being an independent creator and consultant. Now I'm basically work from home forever, and that independence and remote working ability allows me to be even more flexible. I practice non-predictive decision making. I have goals for my life, but as I've mentioned in past videos, I don't have a 5-year plan. I live by having a mission, vision, and values rather than a specific career path that I want to follow or a series of life milestones to hit by a certain age. And even with my decision last year to quit my job to do YouTube, which would seem pretty straightforward, you quit working for companies and just do your own content creation, I had some surprise opportunities come up to work with companies that really aligned with my values. So I didn't feel pressure to stick with my pre-made plan. And now I'm a YouTuber, producer, consultant who makes Notion templates. We're juggling. I've become pretty good at keeping my options open and keeping my big picture plans flexible. In my day-to-day, I avoid getting locked into strict plans by building grace time into my schedule in case things run over, making sure I don't overschedule activities on any one given day, and not planning the specific tasks I'm going to be doing more than a few days out. I only schedule things that are actually time sensitive, like meetings or things I need to publish on a certain day, and otherwise I keep a general list of tasks and then I pull activities onto my to-do list as I have the availability and energy to take them on, rather than pushing them onto arbitrary deadlines. And I know that my energy level is one of those variables that makes my productivity hard to predict, so I have types of tasks that are good for various energy levels and moods. I know that my admin tasks take less energy than sending communications, and I know that tasks where I'm producing a final result take more energy and focus than either admin or communication tasks. By having my tasks grouped, I'm able to adapt and pivot throughout the day as my energy waxes and wanes. A second pillar of anti-fragility is being able to make mistakes without the mistakes killing you. Basically, if something goes wrong, it shouldn't be the end of the world. This relates to one of my big goals this year of developing multiple streams of income. I already have a few, which I talked about in another video, but this is another advantage of being independent or having a side hustle. If you only have income from your day job, then it could only take one bad event for you to lose all of your income. And if you make a mistake at your day job, you might not even know about it. It could just be written down in your performance file or kept in the back of your manager's mind until it comes back to bite you later. You also might not know that mistakes are being made elsewhere in the organization that could ultimately lose you your job. In other words, your risk is hidden. By trying to spread out my income over various sources, I'm trying not to have one single point of failure. Another way to think about this is reducing your exposure to risks by looking for opportunities that have big upside and little downside. If you win, you could win big, but if you lose, you actually don't lose with so much. The risk of leaving my job to do YouTube actually fit this profile perfectly. I knew that if I could make content creation a pillar of my career, it could open doors to exciting opportunities, allow me a lot of freedom and flexibility in expressing myself, and give me more earning potential than most day jobs would. And if I tried to do it and it didn't work out, well, I could always just get a day job again. And I liked the day jobs that I had before. I could probably get a similar one in the future. And either way, I'd have a portfolio of videos that I'm really proud of. So it really wouldn't be a loss. And financially, I'm also trying to increase my upside while protecting my downside. As Taleb underscores in the book, control for the worst case scenario, the best case will take care of itself. As an independent creative, my income varies pretty dramatically from month to month. If I drum up great client work or create stellar content, there's no cap to how much I could earn, basically no limit to my upside. But there's also the possibility that I don't make much at all in a month. That's the downside. But I protect against that by keeping a sizable chunk of savings so that regardless of what I earn in any particular month, I know my baseline expenses are covered. And there's a third pillar of anti-fragility that I'm building into my business: learning from your mistakes and pivots, using volatility and errors as information, using stress to build strength. If there's a month where I don't make what I was expecting to, I can deduce why. I can immediately see the effects of my actions, look through analytics, and see how things are being received by my audience. And being a small and nimble enterprise, I can change course accordingly. I can change the topics I discuss on my channel, change the structure of my proposals to clients, update my business systems, or maybe focus my energy on improving my skills. And if I feel stressed in one area, it's a sign that I need to build capabilities in that area, just like building a muscle. This is part of what makes taking time for regular reflections so powerful. I do a weekly review, monthly review, and quarterly review so that I can take stock of what's working and what's not, both in my business and in my life in general, and I can think about what areas I need to improve. It's totally fine to make mistakes. I just don't want to make the same mistake twice. And because future success is unpredictable, because the future in general is unpredictable, it's often less effective to try to find the magical thing that will work, and more effective to focus on avoiding what the past has shown doesn't work. And you can learn from other people's mistakes by using time-tested options and resources. Things that have been around for a long time and are still in use have had their fitness tested. You can reduce your own need for trial and error by using things that have already proven to be effective. This is one reason why I continue to prioritize YouTube, even as excitement around other platforms comes and goes. YouTube is over 15 years old, it's weathered many storms, many creators make it profitable, and it's continued to be attractive to a large audience. I use it as my solid place to build a business and online presence while using other platforms to experiment and see what takes. So that's how I'm crafting an anti-fragile creative career and life. In the comments, let me know if you've thought about leading an anti-fragile life. If you're interested in more of the behind the scenes of how I I'm building my business and career, I share more of those details over on Patreon. Shout out to my Patreon supporters who are helping me to grow this channel. As always, remember to live spiritedly and think creatively, and I will see you next time.